Committee National Assembly. The leader of Arewa Youth Consultative Forum, Yerima Shettima, has pleaded with former governor of Zamfara State and frontline aspirant for Senate presidency, Abdulaziz Jari, to concede to former Abia State governor and the Senate chief whip, Orji Uzor Kalu. Addressing newsmen in Kaduna, Shettima said allowing a Southeast lawmaker and a Christian to become the Senate president will strengthen the unity in the country. He appealed to Jari to accept the position of Deputy Senate President. Judy, when I saw the move of Jari, when he came out, and I was like, this is not good enough. But whatever Nigeria stands for, the president is a Muslim, the vice president is a Muslim. Abdulaziz Jari, what was it thinking about the unity of this country, coming out again and insisting that you want to be the Senate president?
Well, sometimes two people get into this contest for reasons best known to them. Maybe to bargain for something, maybe to get the attention of the number one. People have various reasons. Some go into a contest even when they know they will not win. You think they are fools, but they know what they're after.
Deep down.
Because when you look at this whole contest, it's not difficult to come to the conclusion that Jari is not the front runner. That is a fact. And Jari and Orji Uzor Kalu are in the same camp. So that's the point that fellow is making, that look, step down for your brother from the Southeast, because they are in the same group. This thing, as far as Yerima is concerned, this thing should go to the Southeast. And your brother, a member of your own political group within the Senate, is interested in the Senate presidency. Why not step down for him so that you can become his deputy?
Deputy.
Yes, so Nigerians will say his vice. I don't know where they had that English from. So that you can, his deputy, he can then become his deputy. So that's the argument of that person. You see, because the National Assembly, the race can sometimes be very fluid. Sometimes at the last minute that the pendulum, you know where the pendulum will swing to. But it's clear that the people supporting the former governor of Akwa Ibom State, they are consistent in terms of the way they've welded themselves together. So it's difficult to not admit that that is the front runner in the race. But it doesn't mean that some people will not challenge him. So, and those who are supporting Jari, they too are resolute that it has to be Jari. But just as you said, we have not even overcome the bad blood generated by the Muslim presidential tickets. So it will make sense for us to ensure that we do not anger some Nigerians further. Because they will say, okay, because they got away with the Muslim ticket, they are stretching their luck further. I don't think that we should give people...
To be misinterpreted.
We should give people the reason to think that that is what is happening. And the APC as a party has to be very careful. So they've got to prevail on anyone from the far north who is a Muslim to not get in that race. Getting into that race sends the wrong signal, even if you may not win. You know, it still sends a wrong signal. But I know that in the National Assembly, there are people who would not want these divisions to get wider. And the way to not ensure that the division does not get wider is to let the Senate presidency go to the south either the southeast or the south-south. So that will help us in our desire to achieve healing in our country.
So we can't be saying, some people will be talking about merits, that so far his experience, so far he can do the job. We should not be talking about religion or ethnicity. But in this particular case, for 2023 election, because of the kind of country we're in, it looks somehow for Abdulaziz Yari to say he's coming out to be the Senate president.
Yes, what is happening is that some people are trying to latch at what happened during the APC presidential primaries and the selection of the vice president. So to them, if the president-elect, who is a Muslim, could also find it necessary to pick a fellow Muslim as a vice president, so for them, they think, well, anything goes. To them, it's a question of morality on the issue of who becomes the president of the Senate, who becomes the House of Representatives president. But what has happened in the presidency has happened. We have a president who is a Muslim, we have a vice president who is a Muslim. But are you going to rub it on the faces of other religions and other regions, as it were, that the Senate president will also throw it open, let it come from anywhere? But let us be very clear about this. When we talk about this issue of Muslim, Christian dichotomy, there are some people that worship Songo in this Nigeria. BKO, there are some people that worship Amadion in my place in Obo that are not Christians. They are saying that they are not being put into consideration. Are you telling them that it's only Christian and Muslim that make up?
I think traditional.
In traditional, of course. Yes, now.
Quran.
Yes. If you go to court, are you a Muslim or Christian? You say you are none. They say, what do you believe in? Whatever you believe in is what will be given to you to swear with. But religion, no.
Yeah, the population of those people is very small.
No, don't say BK. Whether they are even a single person.
Are they majority?
Whether they are majority or not majority, is immaterial.
There are dominant religions in every country.
Yes, they are. But what I'm saying in essence is that the first thing remains that
I remember Rauf Aregbesola
what we have
declared the public holiday in Osun State.
So what we have before the coming of this so-called white man religion that Jide and I and you are worshipping, we had our traditional religions. But that is just that's a
you're taking our argument to
go back to it. But you know, see the two religions that divide us as a people. Let's tell ourselves it. Is Christianity
dominant?
It is dominant. Is politics. It's still politics. So, but what I'm heading at is,
if we want peace,
yes,
let's ensure that between these two dominant religions, we achieve balance.
Yes, I agree.
So that is the thing.
But now going to the issue of
expanding the scope of
no, I will expand because most often than when people like you talk Christian and this, you think that is where there are some people that don't believe.
We know that.
Are you worshiping the God of?
No, my name is Christopher, so I cannot. But going to the presidency now, the fact remains that, as Jide rightly said, there's no way that we can have a Muslim Senate president, and definitely also the North. The way it goes, the fact remains that the Senate president has to come from the South, either from the Southeast or South. The APC on itself had narrowed its candidature to Governor Akpabio. And for now, I heard that the president will tomorrow meet with members of the National Assembly, especially of the opposition, even the opposition. That shows you some level of maturity. And you know what I found very interesting about this campaign? Is the way Akpabio, he might not be the best of person in terms of personality and the rest of, but the way he has been going about his campaign is something that has really taken him. This is Akpabio. This man has been going to opposition parties. He has been to the Labour Party secretariat. He has been to, I think, that of SDP, and also been to that of, and other will try to galvanize support across board. So it is not because he wants to win, and that is the best.
Doesn't want to leave any stone unturned.
For me, as far as I'm concerned, that of the Senate is almost settled. You know where the problem is? In the House of Representatives.
Jide, now let's look at the effort of Mr. President himself. I think Mr. President is aware of this point we are making, so he has done whatever he could do to make sure that, look, this Akpabio project that, man, he's standing on his feet and it's still like, guys, please, this guy is a Christian and it's somebody that I want to be the Senate president?
Yes, I think it's very clear. Where there is a bit of ambiguities in the House of Reps, everyone knows that from the beginning, this was the person
Choice
that
of Mr.
Asiwaju wanted. For the House of Reps, you know, he didn't really come out as we've seen him come out in respect of the Senate. And that's why some people believe that, look, the president is not bothered about who becomes the House of Reps Speaker. But at the same time, so that it doesn't look like he's going against the decision of the NWC, you can see that he's been very careful. He is not showing his cards. He's just playing it cool. He has not come out frontally the way we've seen him do, the way we've seen him canvass for Akpabio. If not for Asiwaju, perhaps Barrow will still be in the race by now. Okay? Because at some point, Asiwaju had to call Barrow to give up his desire to become Senate president and opt for the deputy Senate presidency. So I believe that in the end, reason will prevail. And in my view, without, at the risk of sounding supportive of a particular religion, I think at the end of the day, a Christian will become the Senate president. Many people from the far north, many Muslims agree that in the interest of balance, that this is what should happen. And some of the enfant terrible, or this, the usually stubborn people in the Senate, we've seen them queue up behind Akpabio, our friend from Borno South.
Yes, so you don't want to make on him.
You know, he is, this time around, he has quickly let people know where he stands. And so we were surprised that this time around, he didn't, initially he showed interest in the thing, but he comported quickly. And we can see where he, we can see where he stands on this matter. So, all right, the resolution, I believe, is moving closer and closer.
Moving on now, that Nigeria runs an expensive presidential system of